It is one of the biggest data breaches ever. A hacker gained access to more than 1 million Capital One customer accounts and credit card applications earlier this year.
And the Department of Justice saying a former Amazon software engineer is charged with that hack.
In the meantime, the big question, how do you know if your information has been compromised, and if so, what to do about it? Former Amazon software engineer Paige Thompson is accused of breaking into a Capital One server.
Amazon Web Services hosts the Capital One data. So she was able to break into that and get the data.
According to the Justice Department, in March, the 33-year-old Seattle resident gained access to 140,000 U.S. Social Security numbers, 1 million Canadian social insurance numbers, and 80,000 bank account numbers. All total, 100 million Capital One customers' names, addresses, credit scores, credit limits, and balances are compromised. If you applied for or received a Capital One card from 2005 on, your name could be on the list.
The cybersecurity that these companies are relying on is pretty terrible.
Tech expert Stan Prager of GoGeeks Computer Rescue in East Long Meadow says the very first thing Capital One customers should do.
If you currently have a Capital One credit card, I think probably the best thing you should do immediately, like this afternoon, is go online to your Capital One account and change your password.
While Capital One says it's notifying people affected, Prager suggests putting a credit freeze on your files with the big three credit monitoring companies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. That will stop a thief from opening a new credit card or loan in your name. And go old school.
I think in some cases you want to do a blend between old school and new school. You know, be on top of the tech, but also, check things, look at them. There is no substitute for actually looking at your statements.
With so many data breaches in the news of late, Prager says you can check to see if your name appears on the dark web where your personal information may be compromised. This is a free website called Have I Been Pwned? We entered my name.
Oh no, you've been pwned.
I've been pwned.
Yes, pwned on 9 breach sites.
There I am, 9 breaches.
These breaches are data breaches that occurred at these companies where somehow your name or email or password or something else was involved in it.
And if you don't do anything else, Prager says change your passwords for any bank accounts, PayPal, or Amazon, any site attached to your money and your identity.
Apollo, it's a sales engagement firm.
Some scary stuff. Now, Capital One says that they have fixed the vulnerability and it is unlikely any information was used for fraud. Those affected can receive free credit monitoring and identity protection. Now, here in the Bay State today, Attorney General Maura Healey says her office is in talks with Capital One to determine the extent of personal information of Massachusetts residents who may have been put at risk.